Hi, I'm Dr. Rollan Roberts, Chairman of the International Association of Pageantry, and joining me today is Delerice Tehrani to talk about how to use pageantry to build your personal brand. And one of the things, a little bit about Delerice, is she is a former title holder. She has a mega beauty brand and is one half of the Barbie Twins, and they've been able to parlay their success in pageantry into a number of commercial aspects. And so, Delerice, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
My pleasure. So let's jump in. So you've won several, many pageants. You and your sister, I know you compete quite a bit, and so and then you've got the brand and the business outside businesses really outside of pageantry. So one of the struggles that I think a lot of ladies that participate or people that participate in pageantry have is how to parlay what they're building and doing in pageantry, and how do I take the skills and the lessons and use that in a commercial, in an empowering way. What would you recommend to them?
Well, first off, I want to say, hey, everybody that's watching, thank you for joining us. As Rollan said, I've been a pageant girl for many years, and I think that a lot of women struggle with branding themselves in pageantry simply because once you win a title, you automatically become that brand of whatever pageant you've won. And I think some people get stuck being the pageant's brand instead of becoming one with their brand. What I've been able to do is, yes, be the brand, be the ambassador of whatever title I've won. But aside from that, I've made sure that I've always brought whatever I was working on into my pageant life, my pageant world, so to speak. So what I didn't do is separate the two. I think a lot of people think that they can't be inspirational. They can't sell their lipstick line or their products or be their brand and the title holder as well. What I've been able to do is, yes, be that brand ambassador for that title, but alongside that, I've brought my own personal brand into that particular title or that organization by making sure that while I'm preparing to compete for whatever title I'm interested in at the time, I don't have a normal life. I don't know who I am as Delerice, who's one of the Barbie Twins, Delerice, who is the cosmetic line owner, Delerice, who is an inspirational woman who coaches and mentors people. I don't stop bringing me into the world, so to speak. A lot of people they become that brand. And if that brand is about feeding the homeless or the American Heart Association or the cancer awareness or whatever major platform that system has, I think that, yes, we embrace those different platforms.
Okay, so you've successfully been able to parlay your personal brand. You're saying that it's not mutually exclusive of the pageant systems brand and identity that you take on when you win, and then your personal brand as well. You're able to integrate those two.
Yes.
So
yes, I've always spoke. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So let's talk specifics. So you've been on reality TV shows, and I've seen the Cake War episode. I was shown that, and so tell us some of the things some dynamics and elements to the Barbie Twins and the personal brand that you have, and then let's talk about how that has relates to pageantry or integrates.
Okay. My sister and I started modeling many years ago. And I would say that we have certainly had a lot of success in television and reality TV, from being on the Steve Harvey Show to Cake Hunters, Cake Wars. We've been on several different shows, and we're always working on television, broadcasting. And I certainly think that it has helped us in pageantry as well, being able to speak in front of people, large settings, large crowds, has worked in our favor in the pageant setting as well, because we are comfortable on a stage, we're comfortable in an interview setting, and that's something that you have to master to have a successful career in the entrepreneurship field as far as entertainment and television is concerned. So I definitely think that our Barbie Twins brand itself has helped us in a major way with many things. Pageantry, our products, our inspirational lives as women. There's so many different avenues we've been able to step into as the Barbie Twins, as the entrepreneurs, the wives, the pageant girls. We've been able to master wearing many different hats. And I tell people all the time that in order to be successful, you must be able to master many different hats.
So let me ask this. You obviously have Barbie Twin branded beauty products. Tell me what all the products, just rattle them off, some of the products.
We have several products we have under the Barbie Twins brand. We have our cosmetic line that is the Barbie Couture Cosmetics, and we have lipstick, lip gloss, eyeshadow, blush, eyeliner, lashes. We have every product that any other cosmetic line would carry. And we started with just 5 colors. Many years ago, we launched with 5 colors. And from the launch 8 years ago to today, we have a full cosmetic line. Aside from that, we do have individual Barbie Twins products. We have our detox water bottles. We have selfie lights. We have glam cams and so many different products that we have with the Barbie Twins brand itself. The list just goes on from our ebooks, our workbooks, our inspirational prayer guides, pageant guides, so many different things that we've been able to brand under the Barbie Twins brand itself.
So this is what I'm getting at with asking that. I appreciate you kind of walking through, because what I want to help people understand is the difference between that your brand is not just your products. That is a physical representation of it. But when someone talks about the Barbie Twins and your brand, they're talking about the essence of who you are. A lot of it is you, just
right?
The essence, the aura, the what's behind the brand, the products. And so,
right.
How would you define your personal brand, the Barbie Twins personal brand?
I would say that the Barbie Twins personal brand, for those that are a little bit spiritual, and even if you're not spiritual, if you've ever read the Proverbs 31 wife or Proverbs 31 woman scripture for my women that aren't married, it is a very powerful scripture that we live by. The Proverbs 31 woman was a boss in every area of life. And I think that I can confidently say that I feel that the Barbie Twins brand is, we've leveled up, we've bossed up in every area as wives, as mothers, as mentors, as coaches. So when I think about the Barbie Twins brand, being that we're entrepreneurs, we're successful entrepreneurs, we've been in business for 8 years, we're not working on a 9-to-5, not to knock anyone that is working on the 9-to-5, but however, our brand is well-rounded. We have focused on mastering every area of our lives. So when you look at the Barbie Twins brand, you're going to get something in every area of life. You're going to see the successful wife, the wife that works hard for her family, that takes care of her family and those around her, those in her company, those that she mentors. You're going to see the spiritual woman that does motivate people spiritually, that always lets people know or shares with others that it is okay to be a spiritual woman. It is okay if you love God or Buddha or whoever you follow. I know that we have a lot of different religions, and it's okay to be confident in your religion as well. Aside from that, it is okay to be a pageant girl and still be a wife. It's a lot of people down or shame women that are married and still competing. We like to make sure that people know it is okay to still compete as a married woman, as a mother. So when you look at the Barbie Twins brand itself, you're going to get something in every area. You're going to feel that warmth. We like people to understand that being a woman, being a brand, it is a feeling. It's it's being able to look at somebody or look at something and feel motivated or feel like maybe I need to get up and do something different or shift or impact the world in some kind of way. We don't want people to just look at us and see the outer beauty or the physical appearance that a lot of people, I think of the name Barbie Twins, and right away they think about it. They're like, okay, they're focusing on their outer beauty. In fact, that's not even why we started using the name. We were using the name as a joke because growing up, people always made fun of us and they called us the Barbie Twins as a joke, saying that, we carried ourselves like little Barbie dolls because we've always been big on presenting ourselves as women, being classy, dressing nice, making sure that we were educated and we spoke well, especially coming from the neighborhood that we grew up in many years ago. You were laughed at and frowned upon for speaking as an intelligent woman and carrying yourself in a certain way. So we got a hold of the name by people that were making fun of us, and we started getting booked. We started getting booked as the Barbie Twins, and we told ourselves, we said, listen, this was something that was negative that we're going to turn around and we're going to make it positive. Right. We're not going to just promote ourselves as these beautiful women. We're going to promote ourselves as women of class, women of faith, women that embrace and show love to others, and women that like to empower. So more than anything else, when people look at the Barbie Twins brand, we want them to feel empowered.
This is very interesting because what I hope the audience has heard is that when it comes to your personal brand, when it's not defined in products and widgets and even services, it is
Right.
it is a philosophy, a worldview, a way of living that comes with that. That's what's behind it, and I think that is critical to all brand creation. It's what I did with the hoverboard company, as CEO of the hoverboard company.
Right.
And it was anywhere I go in the world, they've heard of a hoverboard. Even in third world countries, they know what a hoverboard is.
Right.
And then, of course, different brands. Steve Jobs obviously did it with Apple, creating the culture behind
Right.
brands. And even in automobiles and in different software, people say that's Apple-esque. And what they mean is not that's a computer or a phone. They mean that is a clean look. That is a sleek design. That is user-friendly. Right. That is intuitive. Those were the brand words that was the personal identity of that brand. Not widget, not computer, iPhone, and iPod. And that's what we just heard from you as well. And I think that is the great delineator between people who have no brand and are just out there, what I call show up and throw up. They're just blah, they're just there. Versus the ones who are very intentional, very purpose driven. They know who they are and what they stand and whose they are and what they stand for. And and when you bring that kind of purpose and intention, that creates a brand that transcends a product or a widget. That's why the Barbie Twins can be in lip gloss and lipstick and be in a Proverbs 31 class and curriculum and so forth. Because it's related because of the brand, the personal brand, not because of an industry. And most people try and stay in an industry lane and in certain segments. But the best brands in the world are the ones that the brand means has a emotional or a intrinsic emotion and value attached to it, not a product.
Right. I agree.
So as it relates to in pageantry, there's everything from young girls to seniors. I know we had one in a recent pageant that was crowned at like 81 or 82 years old. So it's a broad spectrum of competition. So the question is it too early? What's the right age to start building a personal brand? I mean, can a parent be crafting a 5-year-old's brand, or as a preteen, as teens, as Miss? When should the contestants be focused and thinking forward about what is my personal brand? Because that will drive a lot of their behavior, even at pageants. It will drive how they compete.
Right.
So what's your advice on that?
I definitely think that it's important to develop a personal brand even when you're younger. However, what I do know about young women, young girls, between the ages of 5 to 16, your personality is going to change drastically by the time you are 18, you're 21 and 30, and then you become a wife. It's going to change. It's going to vary. You're going to find yourself not even liking some of the things that you loved as a child, as an adult. So with that said, I think that yes, a parent can start grooming, so to speak, their child's personal brand. However, when you become an adult, your brand is your choice. And a lot of times, unfortunately, we grow up and we may not like what our mom and our dads want for us as adults. So parents, yes, it's okay to groom your child early and to start making sure they figure out what they like, what they want to be when they grow up, what way they want to impact the world. These are some questions that you can ask them to help them get started with branding themselves. How do you want the world to see you? How do you want to be viewed as a title holder or as a person in general? What do you want to do outside of pageantry? That's also a good way to brand yourself personally, finding out what that child wants to do outside of the pageant world and then incorporating the two. However, as an adult, I certainly think that is, I would say, between the ages of teenage and adult, is when a woman starts to think for herself, a contestant starts to think for themselves. That is the time when you should start figuring out a game plan, a strategic action plan to brand yourself as a woman, as a title holder, as a mother, a doctor, lawyer, whatever it is you want to be. Don't be afraid to incorporate pageant with your regular life. I think that is a mistake that a lot of people make. They think that they need to exclude their personal life from the pageant world. And that's how we find ourselves being a pageant holder that is becoming whatever that system needs. And they do this over and over and over again, where they leave a system and then they become whoever Mrs. America wants them, whoever Miss United States wants, or Cosmo, and the list goes on. You find yourself branding yourself as that organization's perfect title holder, so to speak. So yes, let's learn about these systems before we enter them, but let's also remember who we are so that our brand can be present as well.
Agreed.
So that is
Agreed.
something that's very important.
Yeah, completely agree. And I think there's one dynamic I want to leave the audience with as well, and feel free to chime in. And that is when you're building your personal brand, including as it migrates from your being parents helping shape that in the early years, and then owning it eventually, is that the brand must be authentic. People can see right through fakes. They know when you're trying too hard and you're going for optics as opposed to just being genuine. And I think one of the best personal brands that a young person can have, period, is to be honorable, to be a person of integrity, to be honest, be known, have a personal brand that person tells the truth. That person is always kind. That person is always respectful. That person always has good manners. That is one of the most powerful personal brands that a child can develop, so that as they move into whatever industry and causes that they really want to champion, and maybe a personal brand kind of becomes an extension of that, the ultimate brand is still them, and it is who they are and what they stand for, that really will allow them to be successful. I can't tell you how many companies I've been in the boardrooms where they literally say, okay, well, this is the kind of brand that we need because this is what the people we're going to try and target, this is what they want. And they try to be something they aren't, because they're using data to back into what our brand should be. All that's going to do is give you the right colors and the right font for your logo and your packaging and things like that, which is good, but you're not going to create an Apple out of that, because that doesn't buy the deep loyalty that a lot of those people want. And that's what's demanded if you want to have a personal brand. the people that are loyal to me and that follow me, they know I'm not perfect, but they know that I try. They know that I care. They know that I won't quit.
Right.
They know that I'll make it right. They'll know whatever it is. They know the intentions. No matter what happens, they know where the intentions are, and they know what they're getting into and how we do business. And so I believe in authentic brands, and I think that is the most powerful place that even parents in pageantry, you can tell the contestants that are not authentic, that they're trying to be someone they're not, even in the course of competition.
I agree. I think that was a very good point that you made, even for the younger women or the growing up, and how a parent can help mold their child's personal brand as a young girl growing up, making sure they're honest, making sure that they are not becoming a duplicate of someone, but they're being their best self. I have an identical twin, and her and I have two totally different messages in life. We're impacting people in two totally different ways. So being authentic, yes, it's key. And in all honesty, you must be authentic. We have the Barbie Twins brand, and we do several things together. But Delphi when you see her, and Delerice when you see me. So that is important. Be yourself, be authentic, and make sure that you are an honest person, that you have great etiquette skills. Believe it or not, a lot of us don't have great etiquette skills, even in the pageant world, where our etiquette outside of the stage is horrible. And it shows as soon as we leave the pageant setting, where we will speak and jaws will drop. Or if you've noticed, for those that have judged, I've had the pleasure of judging numerous pageants, and I've had situations where a contestant that was wonderful in interview, I happened to be in the elevator with them, and something slipped out that dropped my jaw, and they didn't know that I was there. That is you not being authentic, you not being real, you betraying this sweet girl image, but behind closed doors, your personality is not that of a queen. So I totally agree with you, Rollan. You must be authentic.
Your personal brand is not the facade that you put on. It's who you are when no one is looking. That is your real brand. So people may have the most curated social media, the most beautiful Instagram and Facebook and whatever they're using, and I can tell you that people still, no matter how beautiful it looks aesthetically, and it can follow every social media best practice, but your personal brand is actually who you are when no one's looking. Because it can work very much against you if those two are not aligned. And so the best personal brand is the one that is authentically you, and then you continue to curate that and support that in everything you do, which is what you all have done. Then you get into that brand represents this product and this product line in this industry over here. But at least we automatically have a relationship with the brand, which is the personal brand, not the product. But in closing, I think we should just tell our viewers. I don't know if you even recall, but the first time that we met on accident on an escalator.
Yes. Oh my God, such a funny story. I was thinking about it just 2 days ago. Rollan and I actually met on an escalator. I somehow managed to get the tail of my dress caught in the escalator. It was scary and funny all at the same time. And God bless Rollan. He was there. He kept me calm. And he was like, don't worry, I'm going to make sure that you get out of the situation. And they called for help. But fortunately, by the time everyone arrived, Rollan had already somehow managed to get my dress.
Yeah, we stopped the escalator.
I don't know. It was stuck, but Rollan got it out. It wasn't even ripped. And I've since worn that dress, as a matter of fact. And every time I put it on, I think about that moment at the pageant, and I just cry laughing. It was the funniest thing ever.
That's so wonderful. And it is special because that's exactly really what we're talking about here. You were in competition where a beautiful gown that has a train or what have you, and I'm in a suit, and this is I think 2017 or 2018 Miss United States. So a big pageant, a national pageant, and you didn't panic, even though what would have crushed most competitors anywhere, like if you can imagine the worst thing that could possibly happen, that might be it for many of them. And instead, you did not panic. You were calm, which was my biggest concern. And then we were able to rescue the dress as well. And but I just remember you handled it impeccably. And I think that is a testament once again to what we're talking about. That's part of the
Thank you.
personal brand. Who are you under fire? Who are you under pressure?
Mhm.
Because that changes a lot of people. And that's also
Yes,
where
it
the
does.
truth comes out of who they really are in their brand. So I think I just wanted to share that one of the reasons why I think you are the best person to talk about personal brand outside of
Thank
the
you.
commercial success that you and your sister have enjoyed and continue to do. And as entrepreneurs and businesswomen and people of faith and just the great personal brand and reputation that you have. And you know the proverb, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. And so I think when it comes to building a personal brand, there are timeless, eternal principles at work. It is a very worthwhile endeavor to do. So thank you, Delerice, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast.
My pleasure.